wallets holding majority of the cryptocurrencies. So if government thinks to adopt and come into this, it's not an equal level of playing field, right? So how
Right. I
would they
think that's
solve the
something,
problem?
yeah. So I think they also realize they're kind of late to the game. So which is why you probably don't see them supporting Bitcoin as much, right? Because they realize if they were to go out and buy Bitcoin and this becomes a common bridge currency as an alternative to the US dollar, they would have to invest a lot right now. It's impossible to get back into the game right now. And obviously, if they start buying Bitcoin, the prices of Bitcoin shoot up across the world as well, right? So that's a problem as well. So I think that's one of the reasons, even though they might understand the benefits of something like Bitcoin, they're probably not supporting it because they know it's kind of late for them, and which is why you see them launching all these, these CBDC tokens or whatever.
I'd like to answer that
Excuse
too.
me.
Go ahead.
Sean, great
Yeah, please go
points.
ahead.
Sean, great points. I appreciate it. I'm learning from you as well. It's good to have someone in the industry. And Tanmay, thank you for this.
Likewise, yeah.
Thank you for this interview. I have a different thesis. I think it's a bear market right now, which if you're a speculator, and most people in America bought Bitcoin or crypto, that they're trying to price go up is the main use case, right? As an artist, if you're holding a lot of Ethereum, it's a problem, right? But if you're transacting in Ethereum, as long as you're selling, you're fine. You're converting it to your currency. When the prices are stably lower, it's much easier to actually transact and use it. As when the prices are going up, nobody wants to get rid of any. The use case is to price go up, right? So unless they're trading, it's a problem. So with Bitcoin at its range right now, I think is a great time for more in the US. I think we're going to see this year, next year in Bitcoin, as well as I believe GameFi, gaming blockchains are going to see massive adoption. You saw a big announcement already with Gala Games, but with the prices lower, it does incentivize people that have been waiting and actually doing their research. Not like some guys like, oh, I'll buy Bitcoin when it goes lower, and it goes lower. They go, oh, no, I don't want any. It's going to die. But actual institutions, banks, governments, I think they're absolutely watching, waiting for the price to go lower. In the U.S. government's case, they don't have a problem because they can print an unlimited amount of money. They still have world dominance because of the petrodollar with Saudi Arabia. So they can print an unlimited amount of money and make the American taxpayers pay it back, right? So they can get it to Bitcoin whenever they want. Central bank digital currencies, I believe, comes more from a government's kind of urge to control its citizens. There is no reason why they cannot use stable coins like US dollar coin, US dollar to stable coins work great on the payment rails of Ethereum. For fast transactions. There's other solutions. Ethereum's working on scaling, Polygon also, or ZK Rollup. So there's no reason why they can't use that, but they have less control. So they're trying to maintain control. I think that's why central bank digital currencies, we're seeing that with China and Nigeria, especially, that's already in the advanced pilot stages, plus over 100 countries. But I believe a couple more countries, developing nations, not like India, not major nations, but smaller countries. There's about 30 countries that don't have their own currency. They already have no control. The African franc nations, right? There's 14 that essentially are controlled by the euro and the Bank of France. And there is about 8 countries that have the US dollar as a currency. They don't print their own currency. So they have the incentive when the US inflates, and the US cuts rates, raises rates, it hurts them every time. Also, other countries in the developing world like Kenya, Tanzania, Nigeria in Africa, Vietnam in Asia, right? These countries have potentially massive growth in their economies, but they're actually being held back and controlled when the Federal Reserve manipulates the dollar and it hurts them. So they have an incentive to get Bitcoin, not necessarily to buy Bitcoin, but to adopt it as a legal tender, which will allow the citizens, also countries that have a lot of remittances. I wrote an article about this I could share later, but a major part of their economy is remittances, right? So if they take Bitcoin, make it legal tender, take the tax off the remittances, a lot of money will flow into the economy. Then people will use it and they can tax it through sales tax. See, I think sales tax is better than income tax, but that's another subject. But If they allow it,
Yeah, yeah,
if they
yeah,
allow
yeah.
it to flow into the economy, they'll tax it anyway, right? There's always taxes on this and that transaction. So they should allow it. I think at least two more countries are going to adopt Bitcoin in 2023. I don't make many predictions, but I'll stick my neck out and make a prediction because it
Mm.
incentivizes them. And then on the down low, I think every bank in the world is figuring out how to not get turn into Blockbuster, right? Not turn into the taxis that were taken by Uber. And you'll know, Ishan, they're working on solutions to implement either their own blockchain or to essentially connect up with Ethereum, some XRP, et cetera. But on the down low, they're all working on. They have blockchain departments. Every major American tech company has blockchain R&D departments, blockchain leads. They're working on implementing either a solution to connect with a decentralized cryptocurrency or to develop their own either central bank digital currency or private blockchain. So I think in the bear market, there's even more of that. It's just quieter. They're not announcing it because it's not really good public relations excitement because people are not really excited. But in terms of technology, they see the worth. They're implementing it, including some of the biggest critics of crypto. They themselves are trying to not become like the dinosaurs. They are innovating right now as we speak.
I'll just add to what Alex was saying earlier. So, I mean, also economies or countries where citizens don't really trust the government, right? So, for example, like Argentina and Venezuela, and they default to Bitcoin or they default to USDT. And I think so. Every time someone says that, cryptocurrencies don't have a use case or, there's no reason for them to exist, you just point the finger at those countries because it's clear that when the institutions have failed, and they don't deliver what they're supposed to. You have this decentralized system that is, acting like it's supposed to without, a intermediary or even a governing party being there. So yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that's the way forward. Yeah.